Hello guys! So I wasn't planning to film a video today, but I'm just bored, I don't have anything else to do, so here I am. So today we're gonna talk about another Greek mythology tale. The last one I did was on Persephone and Hades. The Easter egg is that I posted it on autumnal equinox. That's the tale in Greek mythology that explains the changing of seasons. I will leave a link somewhere here. So yeah, lately I've been watching a lot of Sailor Moon, so this is the look for today. So anyway, today we're gonna talk about the Minotaur and the Labyrinth. It's a tale that fascinated me a lot when I was a little girl because it's kind of dark and grim and spooky. So for those of you who don't know, I am from Greece, and the biggest island in Greece is Crete. It's at the bottom of the country. It's like a separate country on its own. So the tale that we're gonna mention today took place there. If you've ever heard of Minos civilization, that's the civilization that was flourishing at that time on Crete and some other islands in the Aegean. And if you visit Crete, you can actually see the ruins of the old palace and the ancient artwork there, and it's very impressive. Sadly, I visited that place with my parents when I was a little girl, so I don't remember much. Okay, so we're gonna start off with the basics. Minotaur was a beast with the body of a man and the head of a bull. Okay, so Minotaur, the name comes from Minos, which was the name of the father, and Tor, which is Taurus, in Greek Tavros. So Minotaur was conceived by the queen, the wife of King Minos. We're talking about Greek mythology, so something weird of course is gonna happen. So the father of Minotaur was an actual bull. So we're talking about a human and a bull doing the thing. This monster was conceived, and due to his monstrous form, King Minos ordered his craftsmen Daedalus and Icarus to build a labyrinth to hide the monster from the outside world. Yeah, that's the same Daedalus and Icarus who crafted wax wings in order to fly, and Icarus flied way too near to the sun, so the wings melted and he fell down to his death. Why the bull and the queen did the thing? So the king, Minos, was the son of Europa. This is where the name of the continent Europe came from. And Zeus. Of course we're gonna have Zeus. Every weird little thing you find in Greek mythology, Zeus was somehow responsible for that. So the myth says that Zeus transformed himself into a tame, beautiful, white bull, and he blended himself into her father's herd of bulls. When Europa saw that bull, she was like, wow, this is a very pretty animal, and she climbed on his back and she wanted to ride him. Not in that way, Zeus started running and he took her away to the island of Crete, where I don't want to know the details of what happened. And then Zeus recreated like the white Taurus on the sky, and thus the constellation of Taurus was created. So yeah, King Minos, the father of Minotaur, was one of the three sons Europa and Zeus conceived. All three claimed the throne, and so Minos was the one who was like,
I am the one true heir of the throne because I am powerful. I have the gods on my side.
So yeah, one day he was sacrificing to Poseidon, and he prayed that a bull will come out of the surface, a very powerful and majestic one. I don't know why this story has so many bulls in it. Anyway, and he said that this is gonna be the cue for him to rule the kingdom, and also after this happens, he will sacrifice this bull to Poseidon as a thank you note. That's what happened. Poseidon heard his prayers. He was like,
Sure, why not? I would love a sacrifice.
he made a bull, a majestic bull, emerge from the waters, and people saw it and were like,
Yes, king!
and so Minos became the king of Crete. thus the Minoan civilization. Yeah, he banished his brothers from Crete and everything looked great. However, he did not sacrifice the majestic bull that emerged from the sea by Poseidon to Poseidon. I don't know why one would do that, like, don't mess with the gods, man, like, what the fuck, bro? Bruh. And he kept this bull as a trophy, and he sacrificed another bull to him, but of course he's a god, he knows, he can tell, and in order to punish him for his disrespect, he installed a passion between Minos' wife and the bull. Other tales say that King Minos' wife, the queen, she was, I can't remember her name right, Pacify. Her name was Pacify. Watching all the English translations of the names, I start to forget the Greek ones, and I can't pronounce them correctly. The pronunciation is something between Greek and English, and it's not even a word anymore, so yeah, excuse me for that. Anyway, we're just gonna call her the queen. So basically, the queen forgot to pay her respect to Aphrodite, so she planted this romance because she was very mischievous and she liked to play with people's emotions and she would make people fall in love. Like, she loved the drama. Same girl. I don't know. Anyway, the queen fell in love with a bull. The son of King Minos was born and he was a monster, half human, half bull. So I was curious and I googled how the Minotaur was conceived, and apparently, oh my god, I didn't know that, but I think I should share it with you because this is just too fucked up and it's kind of funny. I'm sorry, it's not funny, but well, it's a myth, so we're allowed to laugh at it. It's not a real event. So basically, the queen, she was plagued by her desire and she sought the help of the craftsmen of the palace, as I mentioned before, Daedalus and Icarus, and they made a cow uniform for her. So basically she cosplayed as a cow and she went on the meadows and made love to the bull. Oh my god, this is just I'm sorry. Okay, so the sad part of the story is that the king wasn't mad at his wife. I guess he was, but he got over it at some point, but he punished his two craftsmen for helping her mate with a bull and he imprisoned them, like, bruh. What the fuck, dude? And then he ordered them to build a labyrinth to lock the Minotaur inside. I don't know why they didn't kill him, because he was basically a beast. He was dangerous for society. He wasn't allowed to be outside. I don't know why. I guess they felt some sort of compassion for it because it was a half human. I don't know. Okay, so apart from Minotaur, King Minos had a human son who was killed in a battle, and I don't know the details of that, but King Minos blamed the Athenians, the people from Athens, that they killed his son and he was angry at them, and so King Minos demanded that every 9 years the Athenians should send 7 young men and 7 young women to him as a tribute, as a sacrifice, and he would send these people to the labyrinth and they would die. It's like Hunger Games, but a bit darker version of it. And now you're gonna ask why the Athenians agreed to do that. This is horrible. And at that time there was a plague in Athens, like a very bad plague, and they consulted the oracle of Delphi, and basically the oracle said that yeah, this is a curse, you will only break this if you agreed to pay the tribute of King Minos, and so they did, and thus the plague stopped, and I guess they were convinced that this is the solution, so they kept sending people over to the island of Crete every 9 years, and they were never seen by their families. So Theseus, in Greek Theseus, the son of King Aegeus, volunteered as tribute. His goal was to slay the Minotaur, and of course his father He really didn't want to send his son to do this, but yeah, at the end he convinced him because he was so certain that by slaying the bull, this horrible tradition would stop. And so he went there and he promised to his father that if he slays the Minotaur, he would raise white sails, whereas if he loses and dies, the sails will be black. So Theseus arrived in Crete, and the daughters of King Minos saw him and fell in love with him. I guess he was handsome, I don't know. He was brave, so that's a plus. So one of the daughters of King Minos, Ariadne, gave him a ball of string, of thread, because apparently she consulted Daedalus and Icarus, the people who made the labyrinth, and asked them how one can escape from the labyrinth. I don't want this boy to die because I really like him and I wanna, you know. So yeah, once they entered the labyrinth, Theseus tied the string to the end of the door and he was just walking around, leaving the thread behind, so he knew where the entrance was. He basically knew the way. He wasn't gonna be lost in there. So he found the Minotaur somewhere like in the back of the labyrinth hiding, and he sneaked up on him and slayed him. And yeah, after he kills him, he drives all the Athenians back following the thread, and they're free, and the Minotaur is dead forever. And they all hopped on a ship with the daughters of King Minos, because I guess these girls didn't wanna stay with him anymore, and they returned back to Athens to celebrate the victory. Yeah, Theseus, he was so happy to return back. He was overjoyed and forgot to change the color of his sails from black to white, because he had them black while he was going, because it was like a bad event. And so his father, the king Aegeus, saw the sails, the black sails, approaching from afar, and he was devastated finding out that his son was killed. And so he committed suicide by jumping from a cliff into the waters of the sea, and that sea is named after him, and it's the Aegean Sea. Such a sad story. I feel bad for his father. Like, at least he could have waited, like, wait to hear how the story went. Like, be patient, man. It's such a sad and tragic story. But again, Greek mythology is all about explaining stuff happening, and so a little side note explaining the love life of Theseus. So basically, both of the two daughters of King Minos went on a ship to return to Athens, but Theseus chose to marry the other girl, Phaedra, and not Ariadne, who gave him the whole advice, and thus he managed to kill her brother. And while they were returning home, he left Ariadne on an island called Naxos, and he and her sister Phaedra returned to Athens and got married. I don't know why they left her there. So she's on that island by herself, and she's reflecting like how naive I was for helping him kill my half-brother who was a monster, apparently. Yeah, we've all been there, girl. We've all done stupid stuff for men. One story says that the god Dionysus found her and they got married, which is good. Dionysus was, if you don't know him, he was like the party god. He was drinking, doing orgies and things like that. Maybe I should make a video about all the Greek gods, like the major Greek gods and goddesses. Let me know if you would like to hear that. So that's the end of the story. I've been rambling for a while now. I hope you enjoyed this video. Leave a like and subscribe. Let me know if you want to hear more Greek mythology trivia. I'd be more than happy to make videos for that. And yeah, take care, stay safe, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye!